Alright, so Marcus Rashford recently just put out a video with the Players Tribune, basically saying, hey, everybody is lying, this and that, PR type stuff. And let's be honest, it's not just him, it's Manchester United in general that's kind of just in disarray at the moment. I think they pretty much have taken the reins from Bayern Munich for Hollywood FC, especially this year. They put the story out yesterday, February 29th, 2024. It kind of blew, well, not kind of, it absolutely blew up. The article is titled, Who I Really Am. And it's pretty much just Marcus Rashford kind of clearing his name of the certain, I guess, allegations. Well, maybe not allegations. It kind of makes him sound like Mason Greenwood. Rather, the overall perception of him at the moment. I think he's had a pretty rough season, to say the least. He's basically just trying to clear his name. He stated, 99% of the time, I can ignore the noise. But sometimes certain lines get crossed and I can't help but want people to just understand who I am as a person. And a lot of people, including myself, I'm a huge Manchester United fan, have questioned his commitment to the team this year. And I think a lot of it you could get carried away with arguing with people on Twitter and stuff like that without really looking deep into it. But we'll get into that in just a second. Another big quote that came out of this is, listen, I'm not a perfect person. When I make a mistake, I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say that I need to do better. But if you ever question my commitment to Manchester United, that's when I have to speak up. I have played for this club since I was a boy. My family turned down life-changing money when I was a kid so I could wear this badge. So yeah, PR in full effect here. And I think the main point of this whole article is talking about the commitment to Manchester United. Like I was saying before, I think that is the biggest problem at the moment because there has been a lot going on, especially this year. And I think it doesn't really help that he had such a good year last year and then this year has been so bad for him. People are citing lack of commitment because of certain things such as his, recent nightclub visits, which never looks good. I mean, I think he has to understand that at some point. Like, it's happened twice. One of them, I don't know if the story is true, if it was reported, because I don't really know if I should believe any of what I read anymore regarding this situation. But one of them, I think he came hung over to training the next day. And I'm not sure if that was the Belfast one or not, but anyways, as a player with his reputation, especially with all this attention on him at the moment, bro, you gotta be more self-aware. You gotta understand that people are watching you at all times. You can't just be going out to nightclubs. I understand that you have a personal life and you should have a personal life, but you're right in the middle of the season where your team isn't doing well. You're battling for 4th place. You're out of the Champions League. You're out of the Carabao Cup. You're not going to win the Premier League. The only thing you have left is the FA Cup. And bro, you play Liverpool in the next round. What are the odds that you're going to get by Liverpool? So I think that's on him. You got to be more self-aware. You got to understand that this looks bad no matter what, especially in the season that you're having at the moment. The main issue that I personally have with him is his body language on the field. I mean, every time he loses the ball, throwing up his arms in the air, I think the biggest thing that everybody sees, and you see it all over Twitter all the time, is his defensive output, which is pretty much zero. How many clips have we seen where he's just kind of letting somebody just dribble super slow around him and he doesn't even try to press him or anything like that? And I'm not talking about pressing. I'm not that type of person that complains players need to press at all times. I'm not that kind of person. But there is a certain defensive output that you need to show, and it's pretty much non-existent. Now, could that be because of the amount of games that they're playing, the amount of injuries? Sure. I mean, I'm sure everybody is tired. But that's the biggest thing that I have noticed personally. It's just that body language and the work ethic, and I guess you could say commitment. But yeah, he also stated that 90% of what he sees about him through social media or news outlets is wrong. Bro, you should have said 100% because now you got people thinking, what's that 10% that's right? You should have just said 100%. That's how you PR. You say 100% of what you read is wrong. But going back to where he was last season compared to now, it's very hard. And if you look at a bunch of other players that play the certain style that Manchester United has, especially with the wingers, and I don't want to say inverted winger, I don't want to sound like an asshole like everybody else does. And yes, I play a lot of Football Manager. That inverted winger system that they use, these players are all the way on the outside, and specifically in Marcus Rashford's case, he's an inside forward and he's very direct. So when he's told to play that winger position and let people work around him, you can start to see where the lack of goals comes from. You got Rafael Leao, who has 4 goals this season. I think Martinelli has around the same. That system itself, you're kind of more so like a playmaker rather than what Rashford should be. The system that Manchester United plays, I think when they had all their players, and mind you, this whole loss to Fulham is so blown out of proportion, it's not even funny anymore. They almost had a full-strength team, and they won 5 games in a row. They've only lost 1 game in 2024. But anyways, the system that they use, I think definitely produces results. It's all about trying to figure out how exactly to use Marcus Rashford. And it's hard, too, because he does not do anything as a lone striker. And I think he's said that he doesn't enjoy playing that position. Bro, you got to be able to play a lot of different positions, especially nowadays in modern day football. You have to be able to play a bunch of different positions. But it seems like he's only capable of playing that left wing, left striker, part of a two-striker formation possibly. And yeah, I think that's where part of the problem lies. Now, there's also been reports that he's had issues with Ten Hag and that they're not on speaking terms. I don't think that's necessarily true, especially with him coming out and saying this, because that kind of story kind of popped up right before he released this article. But yeah, basically the articles are saying that they're not on speaking terms. If that was the case, Ten Hag wouldn't have played him. And that's just my personal opinion. I mean, he stopped playing Ronaldo. He stopped playing Martial. He stopped playing Sancho. You can't cite like politics or anything like that either. Because yes, Rashford makes a ton of money, but so did Ronaldo. So does Sancho. So does Martial. It's criminal that he does. But yeah, the article and the video that he released is super, super interesting. And very interesting timing as well, because they play Manchester City next. And who knows how that's going to go. So that's my take on this situation. Comment and let me know what you think of this. Like and subscribe. And there's so much craziness in the world of football. I'm sure I'll see you real soon.